Hello, welcome to the stream. My name is JT and you're watching Black Box Trading. Yeah, what do we think? What do we think? We're going to take a look at the price of Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at that rotation that we've been monitoring into altcoins. Hasn't happened yet. It's not altcoin season yet. Don't listen to the shills. But yeah, what do you guys think? Is this the calm before the storm? Are we up against a resistance point and we're going to get a rejection? Let's dive in. Let's take a look at the king of all crypto. That is Bitcoin. And let's just zoom right in here to this blue line, the 7 daily exponential moving average, which yesterday we said we were going to close above that and hold as support. That has taken place, and we're holding it as support. We're not even wicking below it today, so that's showing demand in the market. You can see that we haven't, there's plenty of day left. We still got 20 hours left in today's candle, but we have not pierced through that line. That is currently sitting at a price of $94,311. I'm placing this as bull flag. I'm placing this as a momentary pause before continuation to the upside. So continuation for this flag formation. We've got in a flagpole, you've got the flag, you've got the flag pole. If we grab that pole, this bent and crooked pole, and bring it up here, we're looking at a price of 103. Once you get up past 100, that $100,000 psychological level, there's not a lot of reason for it to not go for another attempt at the all-time high. I believe, and the position that we're in right now, I believe that this is a move that will result in an all-time high break. And I think a lot of people are sidelined and a lot of people are not positioned for an all-time high break. A lot of people down here were like, all right, I'm going to wait for 69, 65, 60. I even heard some people calling for 50. So RIP to the Bears. That's not looking like that is going to happen. We have remained bullish in this bull market for the entirety of this move here. We were getting close, we were getting tested for sure, but the majority of this bull market was bought at 18K. Our position, our long portfolio cycle play position, was bought at 18K, and we're sitting pretty 423% up from those entries, so it's looking good. I'm very bullish on the rest of this cycle. I think, when you zoom out and just put things into perspective here, what was this most recent move? We're here on the monthly chart. It's a breakout of the prior cycle high and a retest. I mean, how clean is that? How beautiful is that? This monthly candle, we've said it multiple times. April is going to be a month of repair. April has basically 2 days left in it, and boy oh boy has it repaired. When we do this analysis of these high time frame candles, again, this is the monthly chart, we're looking at this 3-bar reversal. A 3-bar reversal is a loss of a support level resulting in a very red down bar. It is then followed up with either a red or a green doji. In this case, it's a red doji, but it doesn't matter. And then what you need for that 3-bar reversal candle to confirm is a bullish engulfing candle, which is just a green candle that's bigger than the body of the prior candle. Now, we are looking at a massive dragon, or not a dragonfly doji. We're looking at a massive hammer candle. I don't know if you would classify this as a hammer candle. Whatever, it's a bullish candle. We have much more than a bullish engulfing candle here. Over the next 2 days, when this closes, man, it's going to fly. And if it closes any higher than it is right now, May is going to be a spectacular month. May, without a doubt, in my mind, as it stands right now, nobody has a crystal ball, but when I'm looking at these markets, when I'm looking at sentiment, when I'm looking at the fundamentals, it's not hard at all for me to say that May is going to be a new all-time high for Bitcoin. I'm not even saying that it's impossible for April So over the next 2 days, we could get a rally that results in an all-time high. That's far less likely. That's far less likely. But May, absolutely, we're talking 120, 130, something like that for the price of Bitcoin for May. And that's just going to set us up for a beautiful, beautiful bullish summer. We've been talking about this for a long time. We've said, wait until May. May is coming. May's looking good. We were one of the first people to have that May acceleration target. And it's just, it's working out. It's going good. Time is one of the harder things to quantify in technical analysis. So it's nice to get the timing right. All right, we'll catch up with the chat and then we'll move into Bitcoin dominance. Love the intro music. Thank you, Satoshi Corner. Naram is in Lazar. A Revelation by Future Joust. You're welcome. Oh, that's the name of the song I chose. Didn't know. Love the music too. You always have cool music on the channel. Is there a story to it? Nope. I just pick music that I like. That's all. And it's all royalty free. There's no fun story to it at all. I just go to royalty free websites and search around for stuff that people aren't using that I think is fun. That's it. All right, enough about the music. Let's get into Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance, it's not really climbing. We're looking at the weekly chart here. We haven't seen a reversal yet. Listen, what are we looking for? We're looking for this right here. This will occur at some point. Like, if there's one thing that you can learn from my channel, it's to wait to buy altcoins. Everybody thinks, and it's not your fault. It's like the dominant narrative out there. Oh, Bitcoin's too expensive. I can't make money in Bitcoin. I'm going to buy an altcoin. Guys, we're over 400% up in Bitcoin, and altcoins are down on average, not all, but most, on average 80 to 90%. So get that bullshit out of your head. Get that bullshit out of your head. Now, where does that bullshit come from? Because it can't come from nowhere, right? Obviously, altcoins have conditions that can convince the majority of people that you're far better off investing in an altcoin and that you shouldn't invest in Bitcoin. Those conditions do exist. These are the conditions right here. Let's actually grab this candle pattern. So this is what you're looking for as an altcoin trader. And look at how small it is. Look at how short it is. So this is what we're looking for. This will occur at some point. Do we have to rally up to 70? Probably not. Let's say it just turns around here. This is the condition that you're looking for. And when this happens, this is not nothing. This is something fantastic, but you cannot front run this, because when you front run it, you lose so much money waiting for the rotation that your bag is not packed. Your bag is so small. The market erases your bag, and then you're left with this bullshit little portfolio because you've wasted it all on getting into altcoins too early. And yes, the altcoins pump, but what do you want? Do you want a 30x with a small bag there? You want a 30x on a bag that's down 90%, or do you want a 30x on a bag that's up 400%? It's a no-brainer, but you have to follow this chart. Bitcoin dominance is where you make all of your money. You want a 30x? Of course you want a 30x. But you got to wait for the red candles. Do you see any red here? It's nothing but green. Everything's green. Green, 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 green. Green means stick to Bitcoin. You can make money in Bitcoin. You can make a shit ton of money in Bitcoin. All right. Beating that horse to death. Let's take a look at gold. Gold consolidating, probably waiting for the results of the FOMC meeting. Let's actually take a look. What are we looking at for the FOMC meeting? By the way, token 2049. going on tomorrow. I won't be streaming for the rest of the week. I might get, a video out, on the grounds at Token 2049 or at a party or something. I don't know. Depends how busy and distracted I am with hanging out with people. But I'll be at Token. So if you guys are going to be at Token, look for me. I'll be one of the 15,000 people there. It's such a big event. It's crazy. But yeah, let's take a look at the FOMC meeting. Oh, I need the URL for that. What's the URL for that? FedWatch. Oops. There we go. So it's coming 8 days away. 8 days away for the FOMC meeting. And what is the expectation? The expectation is no change. This, to me, so I actually believe that there is going to be a rate drop. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. And, the market could totally be right on this one. But here's the thing. Here's the reason that I'm thinking it is I just feel that the market's really not prepared for a pump. And I can't put it into words other than the fact that I've just been in this market for a while. I feel a pump coming, and I know that that's pretty useless. I'm just some fucking dude on the internet, and you really shouldn't take that with any sort of credibility at all. Okay, this random dude on the internet feels like a pump is coming. But I've been trading Bitcoin a long time. I know how Bitcoin operates, and it operates in parallel with crowd sentiment, the herd sentiment, and the herd sentiment is just very negative. It's very negative. The fundamentals of Bitcoin are very positive. We have this massive divergence, and I think that all we're waiting for is a catalyst. And sometimes the world plays out in this theatrical way, and I think one of the best catalysts would be a rate cut coming out on the FOMC meeting. And since 89% of the market, 90% of the market thinks that a rate cut is not happening, it will immediately need to be priced in, and you will see rallies across the board. That's my theory. That's my thesis. And it's not much of a thesis. It's a feeling. So do take it with a grain of salt. It's not super valid. But anyways, gold is kind of consolidating here. It had a massive rally, big kind of blow off top. For gold, we're going to call this a blow off top. It's gold. It doesn't move like Bitcoin, but it definitely has this top signal coming in here. So we can kind of draw a trading range around that. You've got your buyer's climax. You've got your automatic reaction. So for the time being, gold is going to be trapped between 3,500 per ounce and 3,260 per ounce. And it's going to consolidate. I think it needs a little bit of a consolidation. I think it needs a little bit of a cool down. It's had a beautiful, beautiful run. Beautiful run. So it'll probably do something like this for a while. Maybe give a little fake out dip to the downside, and then it'll start to rally again. Because what I think is going to happen is we are going to get a rate cut, and that's going to put risk on for S&P and NASDAQ, and that's going to give risk off for gold. So let's take a look at the S&P. How are we doing on the S&P? Yeah, still working with this resistance. Got to reclaim this level right here. Once we reclaim it, we will need to retest it. So it's definitely in repair mode right now. It'll probably rally up to something like that, get a pullback, and then you got your kind of inverse head and shoulders formation taking place. You can't really predict it, but this is what I would think would happen. Another scenario that could happen is this is just part of a V-shaped recovery, and it just starts taking off and it encounters a little bit of resistance up here before heading off to new all-time highs, which I think there will be new all-time highs for the S&P 500. Same thing with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's going to hit new all-time highs, whether it's a V-shaped recovery or some sort of slower consolidation. is yet to be determined. But yeah, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. The markets have corrected. The correction is over. Trade war is priced in, and money is becoming cheap. Money is becoming cheap. If we go back over to Bitcoin and we go and turn on M2 money supply, which, I kind of feel like I don't even want to talk about M2 money supply. Everybody's talking about M2 money supply now, but we'll do it anyways. We'll do it anyways. It's not cool. The cool kids aren't talking about M2 money supply anymore. But when we look at it, it's in a rally, man. It's in a rally. Let's bring it over. Let's bring it up. It's rallying. M2 money is becoming cheap. The money printer is running. Across many central banks, is the Federal Reserve printing money? Not as fast as the other countries, but a lot of countries are printing a lot of money. Not sure what was going on in India, but India had a massive, massive spike. So they probably did some sort of new way of calculating their money supply. But, suffice to say, money printer go burr. And what is Bitcoin like? Bitcoin likes money printer go burr. So if the money printer keeps on printing, the price of Bitcoin number go up. It's as simple as that. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is number go up right here. You can see M2 money supply had a peak over here, came into a double bottom. Bitcoin had a peak, came into a double bottom. It is now in an exciting little rally. And this is just the beginning. We're right here. We've still got, on the at least one. Let's actually measure it out. Let's measure it out pound for pound. From the bottom to this, 1, 2, we'll say 3. So we got 3 times that. So let's go from the bottom to the top and let's move it 1, 2, 3. And yeah, we're at 160. 160. This is what I'm talking about. May is going to close at like 120, 130, and 160 is very, very achievable in my opinion. 160 is easy. Mauricio Lopez, good to see you. India is at war with Pakistan, unfortunately. Might delay the bull run. Hell no. Hell no will it delay the bull run. Wars, guys, as terrible as it is, nobody can pay for war. Nobody pays for war with taxes anymore. So if we saw a spike in India because of the money supply, guess what that means? They're printing a shit ton of fucking money. War is terrible. This is actually what Bitcoin is made for. Bitcoin is a peaceful revolution to demonetize war and demonetize manipulation of the money supply. One of the biggest ways that you manipulate the money supply is by funding wars that you can't afford to fight. The bloodiest century in human history just so happens to be on a fiat standard. So with them going to war, Bitcoin's going to fucking skyrocket. I mean, it's not, in the grand scheme of things, India's economy isn't one of the largest. So, them doubling their monetary units, big deal. But to delay the bull run, absolutely not. It's not going to delay anything. It's not. It is only going to accelerate it, particularly for those in India. If anybody's in India watching this, you better sell your rupees. You better sell your rupees and you better get yourself some Bitcoin because the government is stealing everything you got. What little you may have in a bank, the government is taking it so that they can pay for tanks, they can pay for rockets, they can pay for soldiers, they can pay for going to war. Listen, no government today can afford to go to war. They just can't. The only way that they can afford to go to war is by printing money. And this is, another reason that I really like Bitcoin. Bitcoin defunds war. Listen, war is never going to go away. I think it would be foolish for me to say, yeah, Bitcoin's going to create a utopia where there's no more war. I think that's foolish for me to say that. But if you are forced to actually need to come up with the money to go to war, the reasons for going to war are going to be much more severe, and it's going to be literally life and death of your citizens for you to go to war. And B, the duration of those wars is going to be significantly less time. The Afghanistan war went on for like decades. No. If you actually needed to pay for the war, it'd be 2 years, tops. 2 years. So yeah, not to say, great, India's at war, we're going to pump, because that's not the tone I'm trying to take here. But it's certainly not going to get in the way of a bull run. It's going to help Bitcoin adoption for sure. Okay, with that side tangent out of the way, how did MSTR go? Oof, look at that. It's looking good. MicroStrategy. I will never buy MicroStrategy, full disclaimer. So if anybody asks, do I have MicroStrategy shares? No, and I never will. I'm not going to pay for the privilege for counterparty risk, but I know there's a lot of MicroStrategy bulls out there. And this is a leveraged play on Bitcoin. So enjoy the fiat gains. This is only getting started, in my opinion. No, MicroStrategy is going to get into thousands of dollars per share, in my opinion. GameStop, man, what a history with GameStop. I think GameStop's going to do new all-time highs this cycle. I think GameStop's going to put a 1 in front of its share price this cycle. A lot of people don't realize how fast this stuff can happen. I think that's the one thing. Like, if this is your first cycle, when you came into the bull market, everything was so fast, but you didn't realize it because you had no benchmark for what's normal. And then the bear market comes, and the bear market kind of makes you think that everything is really, really slow, and all of the price targets are very low. Listen, if things were slow and price targets were low, you would have never FOMO'd into altcoins last cycle. It's very easy to forget how crazy this market can get. So when I'm casually sitting here saying, yeah, GameStop's going to tack a 1 on in front of the share price this cycle, this year, people think that's nuts. But no, you've just forgotten how crazy the market is. I mean, look at this right here. It was $6 and it went to $120 in a month, 2 months, 1, 2, 3 months, 3 months. 3 months. You think that, when it happens, it happens. It happens quickly. So hang in there and make sure you're not chopping and changing your accounts too much. Make sure you're positioned, because the position, when it happens, man. That's all I'm going to say. What should we take a look at? Mauricio's here. He probably watched us talk about Curve. Curve looks cool. We don't have that rotation yet in Bitcoin dominance yet. Yet. But the 30x is coming. The 30x across the board is coming. Maybe token sparks it off. Maybe token 2049 gets people all hyped up. But until we start to see some real red candles on this chart, don't buy alts. No point. Don't buy alts. Even when they look super clean like this. What's another one? Sui. How's Sui doing? Sui, stay above that line. We're bullish above that line. We're bearish below it. Stay above that line, Sui. Sui moves really quick when it wants to move, it seems. That'll be a hard one. Definitely not one that you want to put leverage on. I don't recommend that you touch leverage with any altcoin. Putting leverage on an altcoin is just being greedy. And if you're going to be greedy, the market's going to show you why you're greedy and teach you the lessons as to why it's bad to be greedy. So use leverage on Bitcoin. That's it. Maybe Solana, but even that's way too risky right now. Maybe Solana when Bitcoin dominance is cooperating, but not now. Leverage is for Bitcoin. That's it. Take a look at some STX. Can Sui 5x this cycle? Easily. That's see, this is what I'm talking about. People forget about how crazy crypto is. Like, I don't want to get you guys all, I don't want you guys creaming your jeans or anything, but with the right context in place, projects like Sui are going to easily 20x. Okay. Now, that should not be a target. I want to make that abundantly clear. It's okay to have unrealistic expectations as long as the expectations aren't what you are waiting for to execute on a trade. Okay. So you can wait for a 20x on Sui and not be surprised, in my opinion. But if Bitcoin tops out, if Bitcoin's rallying and a red wave happens and sentiment is high, and Sui only did a 50% rally, it's done. Take your expectations and throw them in the garbage. It's done. Okay. But but with the right market conditions in place, am I going to be surprised to see Sui at a 20x? No, I'm not going to be surprised by that in the slightest. That's normal altcoin season bullshit, craziness. But it should never, under any circumstances, be your target. Your target is based on Bitcoin performance. When Bitcoin is showing signs of topping, your alts are done. I don't care how much they rallied. I don't care if you're looking at one coin that did 100x and Sui's in the same category and it's only done a 2x and it's like, oh, it's just lagging. Oh, it's going to pump next. No, that's a trap. When Bitcoin is done, it's done. So yeah, Sui can 5x this cycle. Yeah, easily. Some STX. Yeah. It seems to be finding a bottom. It seems to be finding its footing. Man, I just see so much repair needed with any altcoin that is associated with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin looks fantastic. Bitcoin looks phenomenal. Bitcoin is fantastic. And a lot of the altcoins also look really good. But if it is an altcoin associated with Bitcoin, they look terrible. They look horrendous. There's so much repair needed for that category of altcoin that we're looking at late. They'll be one of the last. That'll be the last sector to pop off. Those will be the laggards. Those will be the last ones to kind of go. Unfortunately, we're looking at stacks here. It looks like shit. We look at sats. It looks like shit. We look at Ordi. It looks like shit. We're looking at fractal Bitcoin. I mean, it's a freaking joke. It's a rug pull. Tap, garbage. Track, garbage. Anything that is an altcoin associated with Bitcoin is really down bad. Really down bad. And that just means that it's going to take more time. So I've already been calling. So I've said April's going to be a month of repair. Let's go back to STX. So I've said April is going to be a month of repair. May is going to be a month of an all-time high break in Bitcoin. I think June is going to be a month of acceleration for altcoins. And for altcoins associated with Bitcoin, I'm going to say July or August. So they're going to lag. They're not going anywhere for a couple months, unfortunately. As much as I want them. Guys, I'm a Bitcoin maxi. I'm a network maxi. If it's on Bitcoin, I'm happy. I want nothing more than to see the Bitcoin projects do well. But I have to be honest, they need the most amount of repair. And they're just not looking like they're going anywhere anytime soon. So they're at least 3 months away from starting to look halfway decent. 20x is $70 SUI. So what? Listen, everything in this world, forget altcoins, forget Bitcoin, everything in this world is worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it. Period. End of story. Everything in this world is worth as much as somebody is willing to pay for it. And in a FOMO crazy altcoin bull market, people are willing to pay anything, regardless of market cap, regardless of fundamentals. $70, all right, it's cheaper than Bitcoin, sounds good. Like, who cares? You got to get away from these anchoring biases. They don't matter at all. Trust me, they don't matter. The prices are irrelevant. $700, who cares? It's irrelevant information. XTZ, man, Mauricio, you got some bags, brother. You got some bags. Tezos, where did you come from? Are you from Chris Dunn's group? I think you are, actually, now that I feel like you might be from Chris Dunn's group. You're from Skills Incubator, ain't you? Tezos, not much to say here, man. In fiat terms, it's at a very low price. It's at the lowest price it's been since February 2019. Basically, on its first exchange listing, it's at exchange listing price. I don't know what's going on with Tezos. But XTZ, BTC, it's probably even, well, it's definitely much worse. Yeah, it's the lowest it's ever been. Lowest it's ever been. This is a dinosaur project. You know, you probably have a bag of it. You might have at one point had a large bag of it. What I would do to gracefully exit this is I would average down slightly when Bitcoin dominance is starting to show red candles. I would average down. So, like, you know, you're down 99%. All you got to do is do 1% of your original buy, and you've basically doubled your position. Consider doubling your original position for pennies on the dollar. Not financial advice. This is just a consideration. And then you're just that much closer to exiting gracefully when it does eventually pump. This will pump, but, you know, we'll do it in dollar terms. Let's go XTZ USD. But Tezos, for all intensive purposes, is done. So, you know, you'd be lucky to get something like around here. That's your graceful exit. Not financial advice, but that's what I would be doing. I'd be out, especially if it's around the time. You know what? Like, forget the target. This is just like what I'm saying could be expected. Like, I would expect something like this. If we rally past it, great. If we rally past it, great. But when Bitcoin tops, fucking sell that bag, buddy. Get out of that shit. Tezos is garbage. That's the thing about altcoins. They're always new. There's no such thing as a long-term investment in an altcoin. You know what we called long-term investments in altcoins? Bags. We call them bags because you're never getting rid of them. It's just something you're going to hold forever. There's no such thing. The only long-term investment is Bitcoin. Still holding from back in 2021. But Tezos is even older than that. I'm surprised he got into it then. Buy the Tezos like Bezos. I never heard that one. Never heard that one. How's Tron doing? This is my secret love affair, Tron. Just because I'm so bullish on Tether. Tether ain't going anywhere anytime soon. So anything that touches Tether, which, you know, is Bitcoin too. Like Tether just started getting issued on the Bitcoin network. So does that kind of defeat the purpose of my investment thesis on Tron? Potentially. Tron's kind of a dino. It certainly hasn't done any outperformance. TRX BTC is probably a horrendous chart, just like Tezos. Oh, this is BTC. Okay, all right. That's not bad then. That's not bad. Yeah, it's kind of like what's going on with XRP. Similar to what's going on with XRP. It did a whole cycle. It did 2 cycles worth of accumulation. If this breaks out, it could be huge. It could be huge. And this is definitely a digestible asset in terms of traditional finance. And we got the suit coiners in our corner now. We got all those suits that want to wet their beaks in this market. So I could totally see Tron doing well just on the backs of that Tether play. And it's the same thing with XRP. XRP BTC. It did 2 cycles worth of accumulation on the Bitcoin pair. And if it breaks out, boy, oh boy, would we be bullish. We would be bullish. But as long as it remains range bound, as long as it's stuck in the range, like this is XRP, this is Tron, as long as they stay in the range, nothing to be bullish about. Just observe. Quietly observe from a distance. Don't touch that shit. How's Caspa doing? Horrendous. McAfee was shilling Tezos. McAfee shilled everything, man. McAfee shilled everything. He was saving up a bunch of money to make himself disappear, fake his own death. He needed to get that coin money, that shill money. He was such a fucking shill. My God, he was such a bad, like crooked shill. So, he's an interesting cat. Really, really interesting guy. But man, he was a ruthless shill back in 2017. It was fucking nuts. Anyone that paid him got his money, or got his words. Let's take a look at anything interesting trending. Soul Layer. Analytics, layer ones. Yeah, nothing's really noteworthy today. Nothing really noteworthy. We're probably getting too close to an FOMC meeting. Things always stagnate. They get real dry around the FOMC meeting. Everybody's just like, don't move, don't touch anything, nobody gets hurt. All right, well, get into the Discord, ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't already in there. Numbers are a little bit low today, but yeah, if you aren't already in, it's a free group. We share our trades, entries, exits, take profits, new token calls, token mints, ordinal mints. If you're looking for a group to be a little bit closer to the inside, we definitely got some insiders in the ordinal space. Not so many insiders in like the Solana meme coin space, but yeah, we got the ordinal space locked and loaded. Yeah, if you guys are interested, go to blackbox.pro, BLKBöX.pro, sign up for a free Bitcoin trading account, and get into the group, and we'll see you there. Get bull run ready. That is all the time I have for today. If you guys press the wrong button. As I was saying, that is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this video with anyone that you think would find value from it. And if you're at Token, if you're hanging out around Token 2049, happening tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Come say hi. I'll be there somewhere. I'll be one of the 15,000 people there. Hit me up on Twitter if you are there, and then we'll see if we can meet. So thank you all, and until next time, please trade safe. It is jungle out there.